All right, family, as y'all well know, we are getting ready for the world premiere of the Healthy Laughter Volume 1 comedy special. The world premiere, first time anywhere in totality, will be seen on my church channel. And I'm excited because, number one, what a great platform for healthy laughter and the mission of healthy laughter and some hilarious stand-up comedy to be a part of the My Church channel and network. But of course, Pastor Tucker is one of my best friends in the entire world. So that even makes it so much sweeter. How you doing, my brother?
Hey man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Doing wonderful. And I'm so excited about this opportunity, man. You know, especially being that we're doing it now because, you know, most people, I don't know if many people know, but November is Diabetic Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And this is a great time, especially because, you know, for me personally, for those who may not know, you know, 4 years ago, during the month of November, I had a diabetic crisis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the first time in my life, man, I had a situation that just came out of nowhere. And I say it came out of nowhere, but it's crazy. We were right in the midst of COVID, man, and I found myself, you know, with all of the stresses of dealing with ministry, stuff that was going on in my family. My mom was, you know, actively dealing with cancer. You know, my kids were home, you know, just everybody dealing with everything. And I'm just trying to take care of everything. And I wasn't taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And I found myself sitting in the emergency room with a blood sugar level of 875 and an A1C of 14.
You leaving something out though, y'all. I ain't gonna let him just bypass one big factor. This joker was so stubborn about going to the hospital, y'all.
You're exactly right. You're
Like
exactly right.
Pastor Stephanie.
I tried to glaze over that part.
He did not want to go to the hospital.
I had been feeling bad for almost 2 months.
Yeah, and nobody, I didn't know.
I was going downhill every day, and I didn't know what was going on, and that's the thing. I was ignoring my body talking to me, telling me something was wrong.
Right.
I had passed the kidney stone. And at first, and then next thing I know, I ended up with an infection in my mouth and I couldn't eat. And I mean, all this stuff was going on, and I couldn't tell my body's telling. And then and I'm going to the bathroom more frequently and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not paying attention to these symptoms that are happening to me because I'm trying to press on. Because once again, I'm trying to take care of everybody else, and I'm not taking care of me. And I remember, man, my wife was telling me, you need to go to the doctor. And I'm like, the Lord ain't told me to go to the doctor. I'm good.
Right.
You know, because that's how us faith folk do, you know, especially us pastors and preachers and men,
right.
you know, I'm good. You know, I'm going to tough it out. I'm going to make it.
Right.
You know,
right.
And I remember it was a Sunday night and it was so funny because you called me around midnight and we sit on the phone. You said, what's going on, man? How you doing? I said, I'm fine. You like, no, you're not. And I'm like, and all I can do is cut my eyes at my wife because I'm like, I got a snitch in the camp, you know.
Pastor Stephanie, she called me. She said, let me tell you about your brother. She said he is not doing well. She said, did he tell you that how he's been feeling? I said, no. She said he is not doing well. She said he's not saying anything. He said he's down there. He's been progressively getting worse, and he won't let us take him to the hospital, take him to the emergency room. And she said the girls are upset, and I'm upset. He just progressively getting worse. I'm like, really? I'm like, I just talked to this joker. He ain't saying nothing about this like earlier that day or the day before. And when finally when me and you talked that night, you had gotten to a point where I think you should talk about that because this can help somebody out. You had got to that point where you couldn't ignore just how bad you were feeling.
Yeah. It had gotten so bad that I couldn't hardly sleep anymore. I was going to the bathroom every hour.
Woo.
It was like every hour. I couldn't even get a night's sleep because it was like I was going to the bathroom on the clock.
Wow.
I mean on the hour, and I still wasn't conscious that something was wrong. It was like something is wrong, and that's the crazy thing. I had gotten to the point where my body had shut down to the point where I couldn't think, I couldn't pray, I couldn't do anything. It was like I knew something was wrong, but I could my cognitive function had stopped working.
Right.
I had gotten that bad because it was so crazy. I had preached for my spiritual dad that Wednesday, and that Thursday night, I told my wife, I said, I can't even do our Thursday night service. I said, I'm going to have to do a replay Thursday night. And she said, well, I'll preach Sunday so you can rest. And all I did was laid in the bed. I couldn't do anything.
Wow.
And so, like you said, by that Sunday night, I'm still just laying there, and I wasn't getting any better. But like I said, by that point, I'm starting to shut down.
Yeah.
And so when I talk to you, like I said, I'm still trying to tough it out. And I had a virtual appointment set up with the doctor that Wednesday. And I was like, well, I said, well, once I talked to him, I said, if he wants me to come in, I'll come in.
Yeah, I remember that. That's what it was. Yeah, yeah.
And
And
so
I was
that's
like,
what I
no, you can't wait till no doggone
and
Wednesday.
so I'm like, I said, it ain't but a couple of days. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I could tough it out another couple of days.
No.
And so, and it was so crazy. And so the next morning, like I told you, I'm going to the bathroom in an hour. And I remember waking up at probably about 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I'm not going to get back in the bed because I know I'm waking my wife up and she can't sleep. So I went downstairs to the basement.
Yeah.
And got in the bed downstairs.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm drinking ginger ales. I'm eating applesauce because I couldn't have it. I couldn't handle anything else.
Right.
And so I said, well, once my daughter get up, I'll text her to tell her, bring me some more ice, bring me another ginger ale, whatever. And I remember waking up, I text her, she did that. And I'm laying there and I would doze in and out, going in and out of consciousness. I'd doze off for maybe an hour or so, get up, go to the bathroom, whatever. And so I remember about 2 o'clock that day, I heard the Lord clearly say, get your wife to check your blood sugar. It was just that clear.
Wow.
And so I texted her, I said, I need you to check my blood sugar. Because I didn't even have a glucometer because I wasn't a diabetic. My wife had diabetes since my youngest daughter was born. She had gestational diabetes and it became onset. And so she said, okay, she said, I'm about to get in the shower. I'll do it once I get out the shower. So I dozed back off. When I woke up, she was by the bed and had my hand and was pricking my finger. And so she had pricked my finger. So she's trying to check my blood sugar and the meter wouldn't even read it.
Really?
And I remember the look on her face because a meter won't even read much above 300. I think it's like 3 something where the meter cuts off. The little meters, they cut off. They won't even read something above like 380 or something like that. They don't even function above that level. And so I saw her getting scared. She tried about 3 times and she said, baby, you need to go to the hospital. And so at that point I was like, I could see the look of fear on her face.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, okay. Yeah. I said, well, tell Kaya take me. I said, and so she said, Kaya was in a meeting at that point. And I said, when she gets out of her meeting, I'll have her take me. And so even then, I'm still not scared. I told her, I said, well, tell her to go get me a smoothie first because I figure I'm going to be in the emergency room for a while and I can't eat anything. I said, well, at least I have something on my stomach.
Right.
And so they go get me a smoothie and I tried to drink it. And because my mouth was raw from the infection, that burned my mouth. And I tried to take a sip. I couldn't even take that. And so I said, well, forget it. Let's go. We get in the car and we go over there. Because of COVID, they couldn't even go in with me.